Lefse is a traditional soft Norwegian flatbread. We usually make lefse around the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays. We make ote lefse, or potato lefse, which is similar to tynn lefse, or thin lefse, which is a central Norwegian variation that contains no potatoes. The evening prior to making lefse, we process the potatoes. I've just peeled 5 pounds of Idaho potatoes. Any potato will work, but Idaho potatoes are best. I set my pot of water on the stove and get it to a rolling boil. Don't salt your boiling water. I chop up the potatoes into quarters. Boil the potatoes until fork tender, about 45 minutes. While Americans generally make lefse with potatoes, this isn't always the case in Norway. Some say the Vikings made lefse with only wheat, no potatoes. In their version, they dried it for preservation and took it on long sea voyages. Our family's lefse is a soft version. I learned this recipe from my mother-in-law, Mary Christofferson, who learned it from her mother-in-law, Angie Christofferson. Then mash the potatoes. Put the mashed potatoes through a ricer or a food mill like I'm using. If you have it, use the KitchenAid attachment for grinding meat to rice the potatoes. After ricing the potatoes, let them chill in the refrigerator overnight. You can chill the potatoes for up to 2 days prior to making the lefse. The ingredients are as follows: 2 cups mashed and riced potatoes, 1 teaspoon table salt. If doubling the recipe, do not double the salt. 2 tablespoons unsalted butter, room temperature. 1½ cups all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons 2% milk, plus 1 or 2 more if dough is too dry. I use a stand mixer with the paddle attachment to combine these ingredients. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can just use a large bowl and a Danish dough whisk or a pastry blender. The mixed dough will look like fine breadcrumbs. I bring the dough together with my hands and set it aside. I continue mixing up batches of dough until all the potatoes are gone. Then I divide each batch of dough into 3 balls, a little larger than a baseball. You'll work the dough a little bit more as you shape each ball, but you don't need to develop any gluten. Each dough ball should still be pretty rough in texture. 5 pounds of potatoes should create about 7 pounds of lefse dough. Now we're ready to roll and cook our dough. To do this, you'll need some specialty tools. I use the Bethany Housewares aluminum lefse griddle, the Lefse pastry board, a regular rolling pin, a textured rolling pin, and a lefse stick. I prefer using this bumpy rolling pin over a corrugated one. Your lefse stick should be wide and flat like the one I'm using here. If you need to purchase any of this equipment, please see the links in the description box below. Preheat your lefse griddle to 475 degrees Fahrenheit. I keep an extra small bowl of flour to keep my pastry board and rolling pin well floured. Roll each lefse out to as large and thin as possible. I usually get around 14 inches in diameter. Place the warm lefse between 2 cloths until all the dough is cooked. When you've reached as large a diameter as you can, add texture to the lefse using the bumpy rolling pin. The texture isn't just for looks, it's to keep the lefse from bubbling up when cooked. Cook the lefse on one side until you see brown spots appear. Then flip and cook the other side. We were able to make 18 pieces of lefse. We usually cut it in quarters, but this time we cut it in half. My Norwegian father-in-law says lefse should only be eaten with butter, but my Swedish mother-in-law says it needs both butter and sugar. Roland and I enjoy it with lingonberry preserves. It can also be used as a wrap for sandwich fillings. Lefse is best eaten right away, but my family usually makes large batches and freezes them. I like to leave my cut and stacked lefse on a wire rack to cool and dry out a little bit before placing in freezer bags. The frozen lefse is best eaten within 6 months. If not freezing, lefse will stay good in the refrigerator for about a week.